In the village of Umachim, there lived a man named Nkem. He was known far and wide as the wealthiest yam farmer in the region. Nkem had 3 children. His first son, Obinna, his daughter, Adeze, and his youngest son, Chijioke. While Nkem loved all his children, he adored Obinna beyond measure. From the moment Obinna was born, Nkem made a vow: "My son will never lack anything." True to his word, Obinna never wanted for anything. As a child, he had the finest clothes, the best toys, and the choicest morsels at every meal. If he broke something, Nkem replaced it without a second thought. If Obinna got into trouble, Nkem always found a way to excuse his behavior. "He is just a boy," Nkem would say, smiling proudly. But as Obinna grew, the consequences of Nkem's indulgence began to show. By the time Obinna was a teenager, he had never learned to farm, cook, or even fetch water from the village stream. Nkem did everything for him. A future king does not fetch water, he would tell anyone who questioned him. Meanwhile, Adeze and Chijioke worked tirelessly on the farm. Adeze, though younger than Obinna, was responsible for managing the household. Chijioke, the youngest, spent long hours learning from the farm hands. They loved their father, but resentment towards Obinna began to fester. By the age of 40, Obinna was still living in his father's compound, relying on his father's wealth. Nkem's health began to fail, and with it, the farm's fortune. But even then, Nkem refused to see Obinna's flaws. One fateful day, Nkem called the family meeting. "My children," he began, "I am an old man now. It is time for Obinna to take over the farm." Adeze and Chijioke exchanged worried glances. "Father," Adeze said gently, "Obinna has never worked a day in his life. How will he manage the farm?" Nkem frowned. "You underestimate your brother. He will rise to the occasion." But Obinna did not rise. Within months, the farm fell into disrepair. Obinna spent most of his time at the local palm wine bar, boasting about his father's legacy. Workers left, debts piled up, and soon the family was on the brink of ruin. One day, a stranger arrived in the village. He was a young man named Kelechi, a former apprentice of Chijioke who had left the village years ago to start his own farm. Kelechi had heard about the family's plight and offered to help. "I will teach you," Kelechi told Obinna, "but you must be willing to learn." Obinna laughed. "What can you teach me? I am the son of Nkem, the great farmer." Kelechi smiled. "Even the greatest tree starts as a seed." Reluctantly, and under the pressure from Adeze and Chijioke, Obinna agreed to learn. But Keleshi's lessons were tough. He made Obinna wake up before sunrise, dig trenches, and carry yam on his back. At first, Obinna complained endlessly, but over time, he began to change. Months turned into years, and slowly the farm began to recover. Obinna's hands grew tough, and his heart grew humble. He realized how much he had taken for granted, not just the farm, but his family as well. By the time Nkem passed away, Obinna had become a different man. He knelt before his siblings and said, "I have wronged you both. I do not deserve your forgiveness, but I will spend the rest of my life in it." Adaeze and Chijioke embraced him, tears streaming down their faces. The family worked together to rebuild the farm, stronger than ever. And so, the story of Obinna became a lesson for the entire village. Love is a powerful thing, but when given without discipline, it can cripple instead of strengthen. As the sun set over the fields of Umuchim, the villagers gathered to celebrate the farm's revival. Obinna, once the spoiled son, now stood tall and proud, a man shaped by hardship and redemption. And in the hearts of all who heard his story, a seed of wisdom was planted, one that would grow for generations to come.